You know what is crazy? People are preaching how Valve is being so innovative when it comes to gaming industry, but they're probably the reason why MOBAs and gaming has been so divided and so outdated for last 20 years. Valve is supposed to be a leader, right? They are supposed to be a community representative for gaming communities. But all they have been doing in last 10, 12 years is just holding the game and genre back. Right? Because, oh, yeah, it's Valve, it's Dota, they know what are they doing. No, apparently even Valve and IceFrog. Guys, IceFrog was the guy who originally made Dota. Even these guys don't know the true origins of their own genre, right? It's almost like Valve hasn't seen innovation in 20 years. It's almost like they think that the origins of the whole genre of games is just one map, Dota. When Dota was actually just one of millions of community made maps. That's the true origins of MOBA genre. Countless of community made maps, not some mere Dota. Are these guys really so clueless? After 20 years they don't even understand their own industry, their own genre. Holy shit. The true essence of sports and esports is fair competition, tournaments, rankings. That's what made sports esports, to see who's the best, right? No, we handpick our players, we handpick all our teams. We have no real rankings, no real tournaments, and then why UFC is dying, why esports are dying. Let's ignore 50 to 70% of our player base. Let's only focus on Dota players, 30% of our player base, and ignore everybody else, and then expect good results. But hey, we are Valve. It doesn't matter because we get insane money from Steam. That's why we haven't innovated in last 20 years. That's why Elden Ring haven't innovated in last 20 years. And Elden Ring not only is a console game with limitations, they also have this, they hate multiplayer for some reason. A lot of Japanese gaming studios, that's why their games don't feel alive, Hello guys, and welcome. In today's video, I wanna talk about esports. And why are esports doing so poorly, even though it's probably one of the biggest industry in the world? And the answer is very simple. It's just simply so mismanaged. They waste millions of dollars on salaries on so-called pro players that never really deserve their spots. They have no real rankings, no real tournaments. That's why even one of the biggest company in the world, UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship, who is supposed to be one of the biggest businesses in the world, are doing poorly and are forced to manipulate media to stay afloat. Right? Because guys who work in these capitalism companies, they don't really understand why we love esports in the first place. We wanna see who's the best, right? That's literally the whole point of sports and esports. To see who's the best, to have all these cool teams competing that deserve their spots. But the big issue here is that, honestly, most esports are totally mismanaged, right? There is no real rankings, no real tournaments. They handpick all their players. And when you handpick your players, that's like you would handpick all football players. Right? Handpicked, not deserved. They don't play for the spots, they got handpicked, right? And that's not even the start of the story, how divided esports actually are and how mismanaged they are. Dota 2, CSGO, League of Legends. All these million-dollar companies are now losing money. And why is that? Because the true essence of sports and esports have been destroyed by capitalism, right? If you do things right, if you organize real tournaments, you have real rankings, then people watch naturally and you get sponsorship and viewership naturally because people wanna see who's the best, right? That's the whole point of sports and esports. I have been playing MOBA esports for 10 years. And for example, in Smite community, we literally only have esports for like 30% of the player base, and then they wonder why don't we get good results. For example, all of these gaming studios, right? You have League of Legends, you have Dota 2, you have Smite. They only focus on Conquest Dota map and ignore the rest of their player base. We have no ranked, we don't even have basic rank functionalities for any other fans, any other game modes, right? It's actually insanity how mismanaged sports are, and it all comes down to capitalism, it all comes down to mismanagement. Smite, for example, could be one of the biggest esports game out there if they wouldn't ignore 50 to 70% of their player base, arena fans, console fans, EU fans, one of the biggest region, international fans, right? And now you have, this, you have FaZe, you have Cloud, right? All these big companies are losing money. And again, it's even worse now because they manage esports as capitalism. And as we know, in capitalism environment, only 10 to 15% of the guys on the top can usually make it. Manipulators, social media, algorithm manipulators. You can literally go to Smite. Okay, let me show you example. To just show how unfair esports are. First off, we only have ranked scene for Conquest Aka Dota, which is 30% of the player base. And then it doesn't even matter if you get high rank, because they literally handpick their pros. And this is how most of these content creators made their careers. That's why they never talk about this. Only guys who made careers out of esports are guys who got handpicked. And then people think they're one of the best and they call themselves world champions, even though they never were, because they got handpicked. This is how most of Smite content creators made their careers. Literally, if you type Smite into YouTube, every guy who appears at the top is got there such way, either by getting handpicked for pro leagues and then people think they're one of the best even though they're not, or they manipulate media with countless of promotional accounts. That's the only way to make it. That's why esports, content creation, social media has been dying for years now. Smite could have one of the biggest competitive scene out there, but they just copy Dota and League of Legends. They only focus on Conquest Dota, right? And ignore everybody else. And then they wonder why don't we get good results? Because Dota 2 and League of Legends, they don't need to innovate because they get so much money from Steam and these other things. That's why their games haven't seen innovation in 20 years. So even if they ignore 50 to 70% of their player base, they will still get decent results, right? And let's watch the new video. It's very interesting video, especially if you read some of the comments. Hello guys and welcome. Today I want to talk about Chimera Land. Chimera Land is one of those MMORPG multiplayer games that you never heard of, but it's probably one of the most underrated games out there. And it really hurts me because Chimera Land is actually getting shut down, and it's probably one of the most innovative, most player interactive experience I ever experienced. I played Chimera Land only for like 2 months. I made so many good memories out of it. The social system, taming monsters, and you could literally tame any monster you want. You could explore the world and get so many cool rewards, and oh man. And the player interaction in this game was so good. You could party up with random people. Even before this game almost died, it was still so popular. You could team up with any people. You had voice chat. You could tame any monster, and this game literally promote teaming up with other players. So you could tame all these monsters you see in the open world. You could explore this area and discover all these cool monsters and small houses with cool rewards, and Oh man, if they would only add like more, this game even had space. You could have space and planets if they would add more monsters in the space, like space whales. Oh man, this game would be so cool. You had or you had your own house, your own garden. I mean, this was really one of the most complete game I ever played. And it's really a shame that it's not getting supported anymore. And this is what hurts me, because now we are getting to the stage where capitalism is overpowering passion, and we have seen this everywhere. This is why sports and esports sucks. Nobody watches sports anymore because there is no real rankings or tournaments where people deserve their spots. They handpicked all their players because it's a huge business. That's also why social media is more than 50 to 70% bots like a promotional accounts. And anybody that doesn't have intentions of manipulating the algorithm and their viewers has literally no chance on this platform. And this is the problem when you turn everything into huge business, when you replace passion with capitalism. And in capitalism society, only top 10-15% of the guys can make anything out of it and have good life. The rest, we get nothing. We are just wasting our energy. You know, that's the biggest problem with capitalism, that only guys who manipulate and only cheaters get rewarded, and passion and love doesn't mean anything. That's why they're replacing games with, they're making games with AI, they're replacing art studios with AI. That's why social media is 50 to 70% AI. And games like Palworld, for example, Chimera Land was 2-3 times better game. But Palworld used AI to make those assets. Palworld used AI all over social media to manipulate countless of people and kids, just like YouTubers do. So they make the game seem more popular. You could literally go under any YouTube video about Palworld, and 50% of the comments there were literally bots and AI. People have no idea how easy it is to manipulate thousands upon thousands of people with AI and social media these days, right? The true origins of MOBA genre is countless of community-made maps, fight of characters on different fan community maps. Do you guys remember Warcraft 3, Call of Duty, custom maps? Those were the best. And this is literally the whole point of MOBA genre. MOBA genre isn't some mere Dota, 3 lanes, snowballing. That's not even close what MOBA is. MOBA, multiplayer online battle arena, fight of characters, is basically thousands upon thousands of community made maps and fight of characters on all these different fun maps. But all Wolf has been doing for last 12 years is only focusing on Dota, ignoring everybody else. That's why every gaming studio out there currently is doing the same mistake, and why Arena has been literally the most open niche on the MOBA market, because every MOBA studio, they just only focus on Dota, aka Conquest, aka Defense of the Ancients, and ignore everybody else, right? People don't even understand, like Dota, 3 lanes. The truth is that Dota was never really made for esports. Snowballing, convoluted game design, outdated game design, frustrating game design, zero innovation, right? They even removed domination and twisted tree line from League of Legends. They removed ranked arena from Smite, right? There are literally countless of these gaming studios that are still being held back by this old mentality that only one part or only one map is competitive, and they have no real tournaments, no real rankings, no leaderboard, no rewards for everybody else. That's literally the reason why Smite has died, even though it's literally probably the best game ever created. And it's just insanity, right? It's almost like saying Elden Ring is innovative when it's literally a game made for console players, 60 FPS limit, peer-to-peer connection, right? No multiplayer elements, no social elements, no replayability through multiplayer content, right? Not even basic rank leaderboards or rewards for PvP content. You cannot even reset character stats because all these items are locked behind replaying the same game over and over again. It's insane. And it's capitalism, it's the lack of innovation, it's the thinking that competitive thing is a bad thing, multiplayer is a bad thing, where it makes your game so much more alive. I guess all these capitalism studios are clueless. But guys like us, who actually have experience, we don't matter. Because we barely get any views on social media, because in order to get views on platforms like YouTube, you have to manipulate thousands of people with countless of promotional accounts, otherwise you have no chance. And it's really, you grow up, I don't want to be negative, but, it's really disappointing when you have some YouTuber you really like to watch and then later you learn he's just manipulating and scamming his audience for years now to get money from them, It's like, I don't have a problem with people making money from content they put effort and energy, but when you are manipulating algorithm, manipulating your viewers on a daily basis with countless of bot accounts and making it impossible for the rest of content creators on this platform to get anything out of it, and then how broken esports are, how broken capitalism really slowly destroying everything. Mačka, dal sem ti za jest, nehaj mi dežit, prosim. Jesus Christ. I have been talking for so many years, right? And maybe it doesn't matter, But when you see things die right in front of you, and when you're literally talking about these issues, and they always say, you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about, and then the games die and they're still not listening to you. That's Smite, that's Wolf. Wolf couldn't even make more than one map in a genre that is literally all about countless of community-made maps. Wolf is literally what is wrong with the gaming industry. Reason why gaming is so divided beside capitalism. Why every gaming studio out there totally ignores 50 to 70% of their fan base, of their passionate players who love their game. They don't give them ranked leaderboard, no rewards, no tournaments, nothing, like you don't even exist. That's the true nature of esports. Not only is every team handpicked so you have no chance to get there, but you also have no basic rank function, nothing what every competitive player wishes to have. Why we love gaming in the first place, why we love esports, why we love communities. But man, these studios make it almost impossible. And content creation is also totally meaningless because YouTube apparently doesn't care about spammers, verify tag abuser, bots. It is almost like YouTube wants you to manipulate and scam people, otherwise you will never get anything out of this platform. It's literally how the platform is currently designed and how outdated it is. Same with every esport. It's insane. I loved gaming since I'm here, 5-10 years. A human gamer. I love gaming, I love community, I love content creation. But everything I love is getting meaningless and just a waste of time because of capitalism, because of all these old mentalities of people that don't really understand nothing. Imagine you love something so much and you have no way to prove it. That's literally Smite, that's Wolf, that's esports, that's gaming industry currently, that's state of social media, state of content creation. What really sucks about capitalism and the gaming industry is that there are so many amazing games, innovative games out there, but they're all getting shut down because now AI and all these guys who manipulate media, only those guys can make anything out of it, right? It's capitalism. It's basically an ecosystem for scammers and manipulators. And then you have amazing games like Orc Must Die Unchained. You have Chimera Land, one of the best game ever created. You have Smite. You have Loadout. And there are even 20-year-old games like Pirate of the Black Cat and Destriga that have better action combat, better gameplay than games today, right? And it really hurts me. You have games like Palworld, who use AI to make their assets. You have Elden Ring, you have Wolf, who haven't seen innovation in last 20 years. And then actual good studios who make complete games like Chimera Land are getting shut down. Chimera Land is basically better than every game out there, the more complete game than any of those studios ever made, right? You know, people don't realize that, yeah, it's just gaming, you know, it's just games. Who cares, right? But games, people don't realize that gaming and all these things are basically a way for us to express ourselves, to be a part of something. And we care about it, we care about each other. We have a sense of community. There's so many, you know, people out there who enjoy gaming so they don't be depressed, you know, and we love competitive spirit, we love, at least we are good at something, you know. And when the companies, when even the companies failed us, when even the community representatives who are supposed to bring the community together failed us, it's really saddening. And you have so many players who give they give even their life to content creation, to gaming, to whatever, to sports, and then you realize there is no reason. All gaming, sports, esports, content creation, everything is becoming meaningless. It's because of capitalism and because of the guys who manipulate social media. 90% of content creators on YouTube will never have a chance to make it. That's the harsh reality of content creation in capitalism. You either manipulate people, you either scam people, you manipulate algorithm, you manipulate your viewers, or you basically have no chance on these platforms anymore. Even if you make the most amazing content, you still basically compete against bots, against a lot of these big content creators with million subscribers who got them via manipulating algorithm for years now, their viewers for years, using countless of promotional accounts to manipulate algorithm, to making it impossible for the rest of us to get any views. And all these kids who don't realize this are, you know, I was also the same, you know. But then you realize one day, yeah, it's just a business. When you turn content creation into a business, what happens? AI made videos, stolen content, manipulation of algorithm and your viewers. You have all this, and it's not even, I don't even mind it. I don't mind people making money for if they put in the effort, if they make content and such. What I do mind is insane level of manipulation that's going on social media. And how these guys who have millions of subscribers, who got them via manipulating their viewers and algorithm for years now, making it almost impossible for 90% of the people on this platform to get anything out of it. And that's a reality. And it's what is even more insane that YouTube never talk about, Google never talk about this, right? They should be talking about these issues years ago. Man, it's so disappointing, really. Hope it gets better. The Korean esports scene, T1, is over 50 millions in debt. And no company actually is profitable at the moment. That's what happens when you design esports around teams, when you handpick your teams. If all they had to do is organize real EU, North America tournaments, online tournaments, and then you get best teams to play it out in Atlanta or whatever. That's how you design esports. That's why Smite 7 years ago was such a big thing. We had EU versus North America competitive scene. We had ranked leaderboard and rewards for 3 most popular game modes, Conquest, Joust and Arena. Now we only have for Conquest, right? Because we wanna be like League of Legends, we wanna be like Dota Wolf. We wanna only focus on Conquest Dota and ignore everybody else. When the true origins of the whole MOBA genre is countless of community-made maps, not some mere Dota. Dota was just one of thousands upon thousands of community-made maps. They don't even understand their own genre. These $1 billion companies, they don't even understand their own genre. That's how bad it is. So if you could just go to Smite, we have no Euro players, we have no arena fans, we have no international fans. Esports. And then you can go like Smite Reddit. How mismanaged these communities are. Okay, I opened randomly 10-year-old arena guide, okay? 10-year-old arena guide. This was 10 years ago. Smite Pro Scene 10 years ago. We had ranked leaderboard and rewards for Arena and Conquest. We had online tournaments. We have finals in Atlanta. All these guys had to do is organize real online tournaments with real rankings. And then people will watch naturally. But if you just handpick all your pros, how can you even call them pros when you handpick them? That's why CSGO, League of Legends, Dota, nobody takes esports seriously. It's because of these companies who so mismanage it to the point it's not even worth it. And then you have so many passionate players who would love to play and be passionate and stream and make content, and you totally ignore them. That's been the case for Smite for 7 years, literally for Dota and for League of Legends. Because these big companies don't even understand their own genre. Valve is supposed to be a leader of MOBA, yet they only make one map in a genre that is literally it's all about countless of community maps, on fight of characters, on different fan community made maps. It's insanity. And that's why even companies like UFC, one of the biggest companies in the world, they have to sell their soul to Abu Dhabi and to Trump and so on, just so they can stay afloat. They have to manipulate media. Because, as I said, capitalism is based on illusion. As long as you can keep up the illusion, and once you're not keeping up and now you can manipulate media so easy, right? With promotional account bots, verified tag, and so on. But when even the biggest companies in the world are losing money, you know something is wrong. These guys have no idea how to lead sport business. They think it's business first and sports and competitive spirit later. When was the last time Dota 2, UFC organized actual tournaments with fair rankings? 10 years ago! And then they wonder why nobody's taking them seriously. All you have to do is organize real rankings, real tournaments, give everybody a chance, have online tournaments with some nice rewards, have basic rank leaderboard and rewards for most popular game modes. That's how you design esports, not this bullshit, man. It's sad watching esports and content creation just simply die because it's so mismanaged. It's such a wasted opportunity. I have been saying for years, Smite is probably one of the best games ever created, and it has one of the most insane potential ever. But now all these games are dying because they're totally mismanaged, right? Because they are being led by the capitalism companies, and the good games like Chimera Land, Loadout are just simply dying because then you also have these guys who use AI to make assets, and then they use AI all over social media, so not everybody, only those guys have a chance, right? It's insanity how much manipulation is going on. Because at the end of the day, we're just trying to survive, right? But that's their excuse, right, for mismanaging sports and esports for the last 10 years, right? Ignoring so many passionate players who love their game. So many content creators on YouTube, for example, who have no chance anymore here. It's so sad. And then they say, why is esports dying? Why are sports dying? Why is content creation and social media dying, right? It's insanity almost.